have to see a therapist about this Florida State thing, bro. Cause
wait a minute. No, we not. You know what, TP? We not finna do this. You know why we not finna do this? Because there's some dude on this podcast whose squad lost to Bethune-Cookman 10 years in a row.
Mm-hmm. And we still have a running record against Bethune. We could have lost to Bethune 20 years in a row and still would have a winning record against Bethune-Cookman. We still 30.
Ask him his feelings 3 years ago when they lost to Bethune.
Oh, I don't care if we were playing.
No, don't do that. State. No. What was your attitude after y'all lost to BC 3 years ago?
Oh, I was definitely not happy. I don't know nobody who root for a team and they lose and you be happy.
But you gonna degrade me in my outrage.
There has never at any point I said, and I quote, I hope my head coach get hit by a Nerf bus. I'm not finna march the 100 down the street in front of his house, hoping I wake him up and disturb his rest enough that he would want to move and leave Tallahassee. I have never been that angry at any coach staff of my at my alma mater. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is our dislikes of events are different. I will come out and say, I think, fam, you're going to win it all every year, whether they go out and win it all or not. You come out and say, oh, I hope they lose every game. If we don't put up 100 points against Duquesne, then everybody, they should be, what?
No. I'm very clear. I support the players 100%.
Yeah, but
I cannot support bad management. I cannot support a bad athletic department. I cannot support a guy whose very resume says, after year 3, I get worse. His resume says this. This ain't something you got to go look up. Check Arizona State. Check Memphis. Year 3, oh, he get worse. Guess what year we in?
Again.
So even if I have unrealistic expectations of him scoring 58 points, they cannot. And by the way, this new media, I gotta be bombastic. But anything other than a prolific offensive showing, come on, man. We can't be in no shootout with Duquesne. We can't be struggling to score against Duquesne. That is no way to improve as a team. But I got plenty of time to say how I want the coach to get hit by a Nerf bus, all of that, whatever. I mean, like TP, if Texas lose to Oklahoma, how you feel? Wait, what I'm talking about? Y'all have some years now.
I'm about to lead a meeting. Where the lead meeting button at? All right, this has gone long enough.
Hey, so first off,
they beat us last year. Hey, they beat us last year. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, I'm on Marlowe's side because after that Valley loss, I was hoping Coach's apartment flooded.
That man, let me tell you something about that Valley loss. That
Don't
coach
bring it
now.
up. No.
I'm talking about your coach. That coach has one more season of shenanigans before it's over for him.
Who, Cozy?
Oh yeah.
Cozy got a half a season with me, and I'm gonna pack him up himself. My damn self. He got like 3 games.
You gonna be waiting outside that man's house after they lost 3 games with a U-Haul truck. Like, don't worry, fam.
No. The U-Haul is gonna be in his yard after loss number 2. Fuck that.
2 losses?
Hell yeah.
In the SWAC or period? I want clarity here.
Period.
Oh Jesus, man, he gonna be in that U-Haul by October.
No. You're right. Because we gotta play FAU.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question. That's why I mean, it's about clarity.
So SWAC, 2 SWAC losses, he gotta go.
And I think they like a 30-point dog to FAU.
Well, they're not gonna beat They're not going to beat the FBS programs now. Let's not do
No,
this, guys.
no. We're not. We'll hang with them, depending on the depth we have in the trenches. I don't expect for us to be blown out like we were against Miami, but I don't expect to win either. Just protect the spread and we good.
Hey, I mean, you got a chance to win any game in football.
All right.
Yeah.
We watched Notre Dame lose to NIU last year.
We really
ended
did.
up going to the national championship.
Absolutely did.
Anything is possible.
All right, so for everybody that is for the regulars of the podcast, Dave from HBCU Overdrive and MD with
Nightly.
HBCU Nightly, and with
On the
MD with the famous bank.
He's way more famous than me.
It's reasons behind that, and I'm not gonna start Marlo, so we not gonna get behind the reasons why he thinks. But so on the timeline today, and it happens every 3 months, whereas A&T need to leave the HOA, and it's usually because individuals, not the conference themselves, but individuals that surround themselves with those schools in the conference, like to let their white linen show. But my understanding is it's just not a HBCU dislike thing, that it may be more than that. So Dave, please explain to us why Villanova is leaving and why all the uproar in the CAA.
So there's two. Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are having an outstanding week and appreciate the invite, guys. So the first layer of it all is about the fact that we have this thing called the house settlement. And so this house settlement is forcing folks to make certain decisions. And now you're starting to see who really and typically it comes down to football decisions, right? So there were some teams that opted out of the settlement. There's some conferences that opted out of that settlement. And one of those conferences is the Patriot League. So if you're an institution that's focused on academics or have basketball as the number one thing, you want to have your costs reduced to football as much as possible. So you saw that ball rolling when Richmond left. And when Richmond left, we knew that a minimum William Mary was going to go over there for football. And then we also knew that Villanova, from a perspective, I'm not shocked at all at that. Now, when you get into the neighborhood discussion points, I think the neighborhood, while there might have been some institutions that weren't the biggest fans of an A&T or the Hampton joining the CAA, I think they felt a really certain type of way when Campbell and Bryant in particular were at it. I think Bryant was probably the last straw for them. And Bryant is not HBCU for those who don't know that, right? But Bryant was like a last straw. I've talked to alums of these institutions that said that they hated the fact that Bryant was added to the conference. They understood A&T, largest HBCU. The football program at the time was pretty strong at the time. So they saw that vision and they were competitive and they had a world-renowned track team. So they were strong in other sports as well. So they saw A&T made sense. Hampton's Hampton. Monmouth made sense at the time when they added them. But the big question was Campbell and Bryant. But I think Bryant was like the last straw for them.
Whoa, we got Dave on the show. What's happening, man?
What's up, man? I ain't gonna be here too long, man. I got a daughter graduating tomorrow, so I ain't gonna be here too long. But in the grand scheme of things, when you take those things into account, you knew that the dominoes were going to fall. And even with all these dominoes falling, right? And it all started with JMU leaving. So it was about the how and the teams that they brought into the conference when JMU left. But you're not going to replace JMU. Like, they went for Howard. Howard decided to stay. I can't knock them for that, right? They went for Howard. And I think, based on reports, Howard was one step out. Like, they were pretty much gone. And I think the backlash from the alumni flipped it. But when Howard staying was something that, that hurt a little bit, but that still isn't going to replace JMU. Picking up A&T, Hampton, Monmouth, that helped a little bit, even though Hampton's football program was kind of on the wayside at the time. But in the grand scheme of things, when they started adding like your Bryants and your Campbells, that didn't help. And you do have the elite schools like a Delaware that does the neighborhood chants and whatever, but Delaware's perspective is already showed with the way they handle Delaware State when it comes to playing them. I mean, the first time they ever played them was 2007, and that required an FCS playoff game. They wouldn't schedule them. So it's kind of, so it's a whole different perspective. Like, so some of these institutions have already shown their colors. Like they've already shown their colors from that standpoint. But I think even when you show your colors, there's still other things that can bother you to the point of, I got to get the hell out of here. And I think when they started seeing certain schools getting at it outside of the HBCU space, it didn't make sense for them to stay because it kind of changed the region of what it was. They weren't getting to play the teams that they wanted to get to play anymore. Like, William and Mary and Richmond is like one of the oldest rivalries in college football. And there were scenarios where they wouldn't play each other. Richmond flat out said, I want to play Villanova every year. But the way that the scheduling was, because at that point they had 16 teams, it wasn't a feasible option to play them every year. And they weren't. That's a problem for them. So that's why I said when Richmond made the announcement they were going to Patriot League months ago, I said, here comes the Holy Trinity. I said, this is the Holy Trinity. William and Mary, Richmond, Villanova, they're going to leave. And Villanova is a football only anyway, right? They only play football because CAA football is a separate entity from the rest of the CAA. Half of the teams that are full-time members of the CAA don't play football. Like, they play hockey.
Considered basketball, right?
They play hockey. There's some of them, like Northeastern, hockey. You got a pretty good hockey squad. Like, they play other stuff. So when you take everything into consideration, like when the football only schools were leaving, I wasn't too concerned. Because I was like, well, now if College of Charleston leaves, then we can start talking.
That's basketball. That's all.
Yeah,
basketball.
yeah. When we start talking about the basketball squads leaving, then I'm like, all right, now we got to start having some discussions. But right now,
I thought Villanova was a basketball school as well.
But Villanova's in the Big East in basketball.
Yeah, they've been in the Big East.
They play in the Big East. They only play.
So that basketball conference is separate from the football conference.
Yes.
Yep. Just like Notre Dame. It's the same thing. It's the same setup.
Yep.
Got you.
Well, Notre Dame plays independent
If
football.
I say F Notre Dame, would I be wrong?
Football, but they play in the ACC.
They play in ACC and everything else.
You said, what'd you say, Troy?
If I say F Notre Dame, would I be wrong?
Nope.
I like the coach.
That Notre Dame situation is
coach.
that Notre Dame situation is a ACC albatross. I'll put it that way. And again, it's the conversation is so layered that I wanted you to come on and explain it because my Twitter fingers know no bounds, and I have no problem explaining to people that the white linen is showing.
No, but no, they were out of pocket today. Someone was out of pocket today, but I think I'm a believer in, like, a lot of folks like to utilize misdirection. And that's an easy target to utilize misdirection. Because some of them schools weren't happy with some of the other institutions. They're not HBCUs that joined that conference. They are. But
they just mad because
and that's why
you and Hampton came on the block. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was more than that.
And this is why. No, but the reason I said that North Carolina A&T, Hampton, and Campbell should all leave if they were so disgruntled with the teams in Carolina that all three of them should leave together. That's when I said that comment.
Well, Eli might be on the way out anyway.
Where they going?
Where would who go?
No, to Troy's point, if all three of them leave together, where they going?
Oh, they could go. Man, the Big South right now only has 2 football teams.
I was just about to say, go back to the Big South.
But the thing is, the Big South will probably want the whole kid caboodle. And I'll be honest, man, I don't think A&T is interested in moving. And this is just my perspective. I don't speak for A&T, but it's just my opinion. I don't think A&T is open to leaving to go back to the Big South with all their sports. I think they actually they're seeing the difference in recruiting and things of that sort in the CAA. even with the schools that are leaving. Because like we just talked about it, right? We're talking about Richmond, Villanova, and William and Mary. Villanova is football only. Richmond is football only. William and Mary is only moving their football to the Patriot League. Everything else is staying in the CAA. Right? So there's still so at this point, after 2020, starting in 2026, there's going to be 12 football schools and 13 full-time members.
Got you.
And that media,
So like it's not
that media
so like
rights. Oh no, go
What's
ahead,
up?
Dave.
no, you got it.
No,
What's up?
go ahead. No, I was going to
So,
ask,
like-
the media rights deal is up in 27.
It's up in 27. Now, I will say, I do have questions about what this does to the media rights deal. But I still think there's some pretty strong brands in the conference. Like William and Mary is a strong brand. No matter how you feel about them from the outside looking in, they're still a pretty strong brand. Because the CAA full-time deal and the CAA football deal are two separate pieces. Like the CAA football deal probably is worth as much as what the entire MEAC deal is. And the money is in the basketball deal, is in this full-time deal. Like I believe it's $130,000 A&T gets off that deal. Like that's where the money's at. And you get the television coverage. You get 3 basketball games on CBS Sports Network or CBS. We ended up having 4 games this year, including one on CBS proper. So I think, it's I know how people feel about Flow Sports, but they're giving a bigger check than what ESPN was giving.
Hey, somebody send this to 80 so.
Why, are you trying to go to the CAA?
They couldn't checks like that. Tell them they can have a baseball team. We'll throw football here too.
So is William and Mary and Richmond going to be able to continue their rivalry?
Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah.
That's why. Like it's kind of like with FAMU and Bethune. As soon as FAMU made the decision to go to the SWAC, Bethune was coming right behind. Same concept with William and Mary and
they've been getting
Richmond when it comes to football.
That you look at how the wagon folks followed us to the SEC. We gotta have that rivalry, and now we get to renew the rivalry that we have with A&M, which was always been. That was the game. Like people think that our biggest rival was always Oklahoma. No, our rival was A&M. We want Texas A&M every year. We don't care where we play them at. And I think that adds to the, to the whole narrative, behind sports in general is rivalries.
You know what the first
we want to see those. We want to for sure see that one game every year. So William and Mary and Richmond, that should be on the schedule. That should be in their contract. That's going to be their televised game every year.
You know what's the first thing A&T did when they left the MEAC to go to the Big South? They signed a 10-year deal to keep the Ag Eagle Classic going. That was like the first thing. There was no ifs, ands, or buts.
Right.
Because as soon as we moved, the first question that was asked was, "Are we going to play the school down the road?" Yep. And once Chancellor said, and the AD said, absolutely. Nobody really cared at that point.
Because it benefits everybody. Who loses?
Like no,
and then,
like,
you know what
like,
I'm saying?
You gotta play your big. You just gotta play your rivals. Like as long as you play your rivals, you're good. And the thing that I kept trying to explain to folks when we made the move, we're like, well, you got to stay in the MEAC, and I'm like, all due respect to y'all, and I like y'all, and my daughter almost went to Dell State, but Dell State ain't sending nobody to Greensboro. Morgan ain't sending nobody to Greensboro. Howard, if it's a homecoming, Howard will send folks to Greensboro. But overall, the only MEAC schools that send folks to Greensboro is Norfolk, South Carolina State, school down the road. Those are the 3. What schools do we been scheduling the most? Norfolk State, South Carolina State, school down the road. So, like, those are the games that folks want to see. And that's not a slight to them. It's just what the data shows. Like Townsend brings us as much, if not more, fans than what Dell State and Morgan brings. Folks don't want to hear that.
Norfolk State, I'm watching this year. I gotta see. I gotta see what it's about. I gotta see.
I'll be shocked if the school down the road don't win the MEAC, and that pains for me to say. I would like somebody to take them down. That would be an enjoyable experience.
I just want to see. Can that you know, we see a lot of players that transition into coaching, and it doesn't always work out. Is this a situation that can work out?
If the school gets out the way, I think it'll work out. And I think the
Okay.
school is starting to get out the way.
That's fair.
I'm keeping it buck. Like, I think
That's fair.
I think if you don't frustrate Vic to the point of no return, I think they'll be fine. They're not going to win it this year. Let me be clear, but I think they'll be okay. But we'll see. Reminder: Norfolk has never won the MEAC, like ever. So the man has a tall task. Okay. He's trying to do something that's never been done before. The one time they did win the MEAC, they had to vacate the championship.
I was just about to say that. Wait, I remember them winning the MEAC at least once.
And they had to vacate it.
You just said, okay.
They had to vacate it.
Because I think they came to Tallahassee that year, and
And then there was another year where they should have won it, but then they faltered at the end of the year. Like a few years ago, like they had that quarterback, I can't remember his name right now, and they should have won it, and then they faltered at the end. So, you know, Norfolk ain't, and they were competitive last year, and they should be good this year. I just don't know.
They were really competitive last year.
Yeah, I just don't know if they can beat Morgan or the school down the road or Howard. Like they'll
beat Howard. We'll see.
We'll see.
They'll beat Howard.
I've been told Howard can beat Hampton every year too, and they haven't done it in over 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Everybody keep picking Hampton to beat Howard to beat Hampton. I keep looking at them like, when's the last time this happened? And Hampton's been bad. Like even when Hampton was bad, they would beat Howard.
That's bad.
Yeah, we've been on a decline. Like we ain't been good in a minute. It pains me.
Ooh,
and then we got yeah. And then when we moved to the CAA, Lord have mercy.
Y'all, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all were pretty competitive at home. When y'all went on the road,
but good teams win on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but to take a top 25 team on the brink twice, that's impressive. Like home, road, whatever.
You
should have beat Rhode Island. Like y'all should have beat Rhode Island.
That's what I'm saying.
You lost 5 games within 7 points or less last season. So that 5-7 record could have went to like 75 or like 84. Like
it should have been. And I think that's the whole point with a lot of fans. It's like, you know, how are we missing the mark on close games?
You had an interim coach this year that converted. So
that falls on coaching.
It's coaching, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, and I get that. You know, like you said.
Before we go into this whole blame coach thing,
what you mean?
I'm trying to keep us
you the biggest. I want to blame my coach guy in the room.
I'm about to say you the only one
Please
that
don't do that. No.
I'm trying to keep us on track.
Hey, you the only one that say he the only one that say he had the marching 100 going in front of the coach's house
at 7 a.m. So he can't get 7 a.m.
I feel like my comments was taken in context, and now I'm being prosecuted by my comments.
He just celebrated his coach for his basketball team getting fired.
Celebrated.
And said that sometimes God loves him and him only.
You said that.
But to go back to Hampton, like everybody's saying they don't have a shot against Jackson. I'm like, that game might be the toughest FCF opponent that Jackson faces this year.
We all right though.
Jackson still got good coaches.
But my point is that like I think everybody doubts Hampton because they look at Hampton's record and think that Hampton's not good. But I'm gonna tell you right now that Hampton would win the MEAC. Hampton would win the MEAC and give Jackson State fix in that conference. Hampton would probably beat FAMU. Hampton would beat a lot of folks, man. I'm telling you.
The MEAC ain't got but 6 schools left. Shoot.
They got 8 total. Don't forget the non-football schools. All right, don't forget Cochran and Maryland Eastern Shore. Don't forget them. Because they're the reason. Word on the street is they're the reason why. Word on the street is they're the reason why A&T didn't come back football only.
Man,
she said y'all on life support.
You see, I ain't want to be disrespectful when you said they win the MEAC because I'm thinking that ain't really saying much. But you know what I'm saying? We go see
I mean, they had a top 25 team in that conference. Don't be out here slighting them like that now. I mean,
that's why I say I ain't trying to be disrespectful or nothing.
But I'm just saying, like I remember when they played Grambling at that classic, and it was like Grambling's going to destroy these guys, and I'm like, no, the hell they're not. No, they're not. And
What's going on, man? Appreciate you stopping by.
Hey, as long as you show, look, in the words of Marlo, somebody got to show some fight.
Somebody.
Look, I don't care what the spread look like. Fight. If I can see that you fought and tried, hey, I can live with the result. But when you losing 4 and 5 games by 7 points or less, that means that the person in charge ain't making the right game time decision.
Hey, TP, it's not as bad as losing all your home games by average of 30 points.
No, it's not that bad.
Oh, damn.
Hey, we need to see.
That's what happened last year to A&T, just so you guys know.
Yeah,
I just wanted to just give y'all a perspective.
Getting started.
I think I'd rather lose 5 games by 7 games or less than lose by 5 games by 30 points.
Come on. I'm finna end all this right now. Dave, how many games your team won last year? How many games A&T won last year?
No Division I wins. We beat Winston, and I was at that Winston game. Winston-Salem State, and I was at that Winston game, and I was furious.
Touchdown.
And I was furious.
By a touchdown.
I
was furious. And it took overtime to do it. We had to do a last,
We won 2 games at Florida State. 2.
Hey, it'll be all right. It's just Florida State, but y'all got money. Y'all good.
And your coach still got a job. Your coach still got a job. Tom Thibodeau can get to the Eastern Conference Finals and get fired. But that's
the NBA, bro. That's the NBA though. They fire people in the NBA like water. Like it's like spilling water on the floor. You can get fired in the NBA if you don't.
Did buttholes are so bad. They did him dirty. He won a championship, came back, lost in the first round. Yeah, you gone.
I'm telling you, man. When I saw that they lost that series, I was like, "Oh yeah, they about to fire this guy," and they fired him. I was like, "Ooh," because the NBA is like that.
Everybody fired themselves from my Miami Heat.
It probably was from all that damn email they received from Troy. It's gotta go. All the damn Twitter attack.
And if y'all don't, and let me tell you something. If the Knicks do not hire, y'all got to find a coach better than Tibbs. If y'all trot out here with some guy that's a loser, you ain't gonna hear the end of this.
Better get Mike Malone.
I mean,
I don't even know that's enough.
Since we here, it's only I said only one because on Tuesday night I said it's only one. It's only Mike Malone because he took a team to the championship that we otherwise wouldn't think would win the championship. But it's 2. Mike Malone, and if you can get if you can get Ime Udoka out of Houston, I know
that man ain't.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. All due respect, the last thing you need is Ime Udoka in New York City.
Exactly.
Y'all don't want that. I'm shocked that he hasn't. I'm shocked. I'm shocked he hasn't acted a fool in Houston yet. The last thing you want,
my coach alone.
I'm just letting you know. I'm a Celtics fan. I'm just letting you know.
If he can just leave Becky with the good hair alone,
that man has
he gonna be all right.
Acting a fool.
They need to send that man to Salt Lake City, but I heard Salt Lake City be getting there like that too.
Nah, he returned 50 wins to Houston. You leave him alone.
Listen, I know he's a hell of a coach.
Acting a fool in Houston too.
Hey, Houston,
we're gonna get that phone call like breaking news. Houston Rockets fired Ime Udoka.
You understand?
No, but that's the thing. He ain't gonna get fired for his shit in Houston because he in Houston.
Hey,
he gonna be.
I mean, as long as he stay away from the front office, he's gonna be fine.
Exactly. He got his pick of strippers in Houston. He all right.
Wait a minute. He in Houston. Hey, what's the place? Hey, TP, what's the place we tell people not to go to?
Hotel Nick. This and that.
Don't go on this and that.
better stay off this net.
That's it.
Y'all don't want me to be great. That's what it is. Y'all don't.
You leave my coach alone. Look, you go get your. Hey, excuse me, sir. You gonna have to get your own.
Oh.
They had a coach that won 50 games and he wasn't good enough.
And that's why they're not going to hire Ime, because that ain't good enough.
I say it. He is a mountain climber. He's just not a mountain topper. I gave the man a compliment.
Listen,
what else?
I think I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think taking a team to the conference finals for the first time in 25 years should you deserve to keep your job for one more season. But I knew the way that conference finals went, I said, "Oh, they might fire this man."
blowing a 9-point lead with 58 seconds, they was already getting his resignation paperwork started.
That was the game where I knew he might be in trouble if he didn't win that series, and he could have still won the series
after that. After losing game one, the way that y'all did,
and
you might be cooked, my boy.
And considering what Tibbs is known for, he couldn't get his two best players to play defense.
Exactly. But look,
check it out.
But check it out though. If you erase the scandal with Ime Udoka, there's no way the Celtics still don't win a championship last year.
Oh, they were going to win a chip
because they had literally the easiest walk to the finals. Every team they played was hurt. I could have coached that team and won the finals.
Hey, but guess what? Guess what? You still got to play the games. It's not my problem.
Hey, you still got to play them. But
we should have. We had a shot this year, but then we out here blowing 20-point leads, and once Tatum went down, that was it.
When Porzingis went down and threes stopped falling, they were cooked. Because if you shooting 73s,
that's how they got there, bro.
15 of them.
That's how they got there. What can I say? That's how they got
boys there. Building a whole project with them bricks.
No, that was the worst piece of coaching I've ever seen in my life. And I watched Mike D'Antoni let us miss 27 straight threes.
We're gonna see, man. We'll see. I don't know they're gonna fire him because he just won the chip. But then again, Mike Malone got fired with 3 games left in the season, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it don't matter.
Bulldozer came back and lost.
Yo, man, the NBA at some point might have to just admit they don't need coaches because they obviously don't care about them enough to keep them when they're successful.
Look, here's the craziest part about it. The guy
teams get coached by the players anyway.
The guy they hired to replace him had a what? Over 20. He was like plus 20 in the win column and still got fired because he said, "Oh, they not playing good enough defense." The Bucks front office don't care. They will fire your ass.
Well, they got their championship, so they good now. They Gucci.
They don't care. They got their brother up out of town.
Well, they about to trade Giannis, so you ain't got to worry about him anymore. They about to trade Giannis behind. They about to trade him.
I can say this: my GM is still hanging on by a thread if he don't get this shit right with the NBA draft.
What, Dallas?
Yeah,
they're gonna be fine, man. I'm not mad at them trading Luka. I'm just more mad about their compensation they got back for Luka. Because it's obvious. It's obvious that everybody was like, "Oh, the Lakers gonna be a threat. The Lakers gonna be a threat." And I'm like, "What the hell are y'all watching?"
They didn't give him too much of anything.
What are y'all watching?
Dallas about to have a great white height right back. Don't even worry about it.
Don't worry, man. You know, Dallas got a streak. It's kind of like Boston in their heyday, man. They got to have that one white guy that can ball. Dallas about to get another one. Y'all about to get the face of the NBA, man. Cooper Flag. Y'all about to get Cooper Flag. You about to get the face.
Who's still on defense?
Man,
listen, man. Ant-Man said he didn't want to be the face. Jason Tatum's out for the remainder of the year. That's going to be the American face of the NBA. Cooper Flag. Get ready, guys. Get ready. It all works.
What you say, Marlo?
They putting way too much pressure. He is not LeBron.
They call that man LeBron?
LeBron was the face of the NBA before he came into the league. They're trying to make Cooper Flag. They're trying to give Cooper Flag the LeBron treatment.
Are you scared? Marlo, we can't. No, Marlo. This is the one time I can't agree with you because number 24 is still playing basketball.
I'm telling you that
Kobe was still winning championships
all
when LeBron came into the league. He was still
all
the
the
face.
hype. All the hype in the NBA when LeBron came into the league was pushed
Yeah,
behind
hype.
LeBron James.
Hype, but that's
They-
not face of the league. Face of the league was
They-
Kobe. Face of
They
the league was
changed
Kobe.
everything for that Cleveland team. Cleveland, how many games were you watching for the Cleveland Cavaliers before LeBron got to
Zero.
that team?
Zero.
They changed everything, and then now they on major networks because he was there and he produced.
Yeah, he got him to a final. He got him to a final in what, year 4? They got
telling
swept,
you.
but he got them.
This-
Which is
this-
more than
that-
they had did in all the years prior. But Kobe was still the face of the league. Still Kobe.
Kobe was still Kobe, but Kobe had went through that situation in Utah.
Yeah, they weren't gonna let him be the face of the league.
Oh man, all right, we definitely gonna move it along now.
That was around the time they blocked the Chris Paul trade. Look, y'all want to talk about a dynasty that the commissioner stopped? If Chris Paul would have went to LA with Kobe and Paul Gasol, we'd have been talking 4 or 5 championships.
Possibly.
Easy.
Possibly.
Easy. Because he still won 2 with Paul.
Well, since we're in this NBA conversation, and these people keep throwing these polls out here, for the love of God, can y'all quit comparing Timmy to the Greek Freak? Timmy is top 2 all time at power forward. Giannis might not be top 10 as a small forward.
Giannis is not a small forward. He's a 4.
He's definitely a 4.
Giannis
is definitely a power forward. He is a 4.
He is definitely a 4.
Because I mean, ain't too many fives in the league.
Makes it worse.
Look, I'm gonna tell you where the comparisons come and where they end. They're both great players who are absolutely dominant. That's it. That's the end of the comparison because their games are different.
Wait.
That's it. They're both great players. They both play the 4. They just play it differently.
Tim Duncan was still
Tim Duncan
putting it back to the basket.
That's a tactician, and his defense was top level. Lateral quickness, ability to read an offense and be where he's supposed to be, the ability to run an offense from the 4. They both have that, but they do it in a different way because I ain't never seen Giannis just step out and hit 18-footers consistently. He might hit 1 or 2, but not consistent. Tim Duncan, you leave him open on that elbow, oh, it's water every time. He glass, tactical. But no, he's not as good as Tim Duncan ever was. If you add everything in, he's not. That's not Tim Duncan was.
I don't think
you can easily say he's the greatest scorer of all time.
I don't think he was good as when Tim Duncan was in college at Wake Forest.
Good God, oh.
That's my opinion.
Wait.
You know,
say that again.
When you say Tim Duncan top 2 power forward of all time, who number 1?
Hakeem.
It's only
Hakeem was a 5.
Power forward. No,
yeah, Olajuwon was a 5.
Was a 5. It's only him and that. It's only him and that dude in Utah. And I'm not really
Carl.
gonna say his name because all the stuff surrounding him. But him and that dude in Utah.
I'll just call him Carl.
The mailman benefited from John Stockton. I can't even put him right there.
That's tough. I mean,
I would probably say Malone.
What about Chuck? What about Chuck?
That man scored on more than just.
What about
Charles Barkley?
I ain't mad at Chuck being there. I know everybody think he's just a commentator. I know the kids definitely think that he's the commentator. But
no.
Chuck was a monster.
The Chuck wagon. You couldn't.
We talking about we ain't talking about Chuck when he went to Phoenix. We talking about Chuck.
No, but he was a monster in Phoenix too.
I know he was a monster in Phoenix, but I'm talking about Chuck when he was big and chubby.
Coach Daly on the Dream Team said that Charles Barkley was the best player on that team.
The mailman should never be mentioned.
Best player on that team, Charles Barkley.
Don't ever give me Karl Malone. You can give me Duncan, You give me Kevin Garnett. You give me Sean Kemp.
Give me Dirk.
You give me Dirk. Don't give me Karl Malone. Don't give me Dirk, man. I'm not doing that.
I gotta keep the same energy with Dirk that I have with that dude with Joker. If you can't jump over a curb, I can't put you in my top 5.
No. Why y'all slamming Jokic, man?
Hold up. Young Dirk took folks to the damn paint. Young Dirk took folks to school.
He did.
Y'all are slandering.
Older Dirk will face you up, hit that one-legged fadeaway, and it's over with. But do not sleep.
Hold on. Dirk created a shot that could not be guarded. There's few players in NBA history that we can say created a style or a shot that could not be guarded. Do you think people could actually guard Kareem Abdul-Jabbar skyhook? Fuck no. Fuck no. You can't guard it. When Dirk started doing that turnaround, it was over for people when they went and won a championship because you can't guard it.
On the left elbow, not the left elbow. Like he turns
so much here to unpack.
It's over with.
It's so much to unpack. We got so much to get to. We gotta get to these other topics.
What's the other topic you got, man?
That game at what is that? MetLife, Lincoln Field in Philadelphia. Between Norfolk State and Dale State.
You know what my thought? I got two takes on that.
Thursday night.
First take.
On a Thursday night?
They going up against the Ravens and the Dolphins that night. Second take.
Oh shit.
This is why you hire celebrity coaches. When you wonder why folks hire celebrity coaches or like famous professional athletes that people know, this is why. Because that game, any two other regular smuggler coaches ain't getting in that stadium. It's not on a Thursday night, which means it's a safe bet. It'll be on ESPNU because MEAC schools play on the U. So it'll be on ESPNU.
And there'll be NFL football being played on.
And they'll be going up against the Ravens and the Dolphins.
Yep.
And the World Series.
Yep.
But the Ravens and the Dolphins is going to be the World Series too that night. So there's that. So, But I think it's dope for them. It's an opportunity to play in an NFL stadium.
Exactly.
No, you got it. You got it, bro.
We're about to see exactly the draw of Mike Vick. We're about to see.
And Deshaun Jackson. Don't leave Deshaun out there, man. I know Deshaun been quieter, but don't.
I was saying that earlier.
Don't leave Deshaun out of there.
In Delaware. You bring in these coaches that they played the game. We all seen them play it at a high level. Can you lead men at a high level? Because everybody want the Deion story where they go to a HBCU and they go off and they have a great season and then they get promoted to a Power 5 school. Like, is that the new model?
I hope. I hope not.
You're not ready for my thought.
No, I want to hear it. I want to hear. That's why I asked the question because I think it's an unfortunate path, right? I think there's going to be some schools that's going to be able to fight this a little bit, but I think the reality is if we're not coming, if our HBCUs aren't coming up with a viable plan when it comes to NIL, you will be a feeder school. Like that's what you will be. For the coaches and players.
Yep, you will be a feeder school. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to go because, look, man, we had, and this is a different sport, but we had a basketball player get a 6-figure deal with another team within the conference, right? So that's the type of money we're talking about here. And he had multiple options in the conference that was offering 6-figure deals. So when you take those type of things into account, if you have a coaching staff that doesn't understand that you're going to have to start paying these players to figure out how to manage that aspect of it, then you might as well go look for a new coach. If you're serious about being part of NIL, or just join the Patriot League.
I think something should also be said. Like, I think a lot of people have pay to play and NIL mixed up. Right?
Oh no. I
There's a
believe it's
huge,
pay to play. I think it's pay to play.
right. That's what I'm saying. But a lot of people call it NIL, and that's just not it. A lot of schools are gonna struggle. They're gonna struggle because they don't have the big ticket alumni giving or the benefits for alumni or big programs, companies that are going to give millions of dollars to fund a school's NIL program. They're just not. They're not. I look at UNO down here, University of New Orleans, and they brought in Master P. Master P does not fund their program. What he's doing is basically writing checks for the kids to come and play. That's totally different than NIL. And I think that unless you have investors, and I believe this is why University of Kentucky is moving to make their program its own business. It's going to be its own entity, and that is because now we can pull in more money, we can get private investors, and other things that are actually going to boost the economy of that department. But other than that, like you said, if we can't bring in that draw in that money, and then we got to look at it like, how you gonna pay these famous coaches? Where's that money coming from?
You gotta find somebody that's willing to do it. Like you gotta
But
find
that's
folks
exactly
like
what I'm saying. That is my exact point.
How do
That is
you
my exact
how
point.
do you find investors when you know that they aren't going to get their rate of return on the on the income?
You're gonna have to find alums that's gonna be willing to dig in.
Like
you're gonna have to find alums within your institution that's gonna be willing to dig in, because until you got it built, and then you might get the other pieces. But you're gonna have to find an alum that's willing to dig in and do it. And
because right now it's a loss. Right now it's a loss.
For most schools, it's a loss. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And it was interesting because we were having conversations about it. And the first thing, there was an argument about who should be trying to cover this. And I said, I'll tell you who's not going to cover this. They were like, who? The students. How you think the students are going to be cool with you guys increasing their student fee, athletic fees, be paying other players? No, sir, Bob, ain't happening.
That's not part of that. That ain't why I go to school, to pay other players.
Yeah, like, and because I always have this discussion. I was like, A&T's student fees are athletic fees are among the highest in the state in the UNC system, and we know why, right? Because UNC Chapel Hill don't have to ask the students for their money because they got all corporate sponsorships, but it's still a number. And they tried to increase the rate when the students said no, but the state of North Carolina told them, not happening. Figure it out. So that's pretty much them telling you, like, if you guys want to pay these players, you have to raise your own money, which is the right answer. Like, if and I keep saying, until we're serious, get ready for 3-8, 3-9 now. We're playing 12 games, 3-9s, 2-10s, 4-8s. Because Stony Brook's got an NIL. Stony Brook's got money to pay their players. William Mary got money to pay their players.
They should all follow FAMU's guide when it comes to building money for your own school. They have their own department that advertises and develops their own products. So now we have an actual enterprise, and that money is going to be used for the athletic department. If you're not doing that and you're relying solely on investors, then you're already doing it wrong, especially if you're already a small market team.
Fang Exchange is an interesting. We had them on here before. They are an interesting organization because they truly are NIL the way it's supposed to be, but they're also a facilitator of NIL. So if a particular alum wants to sponsor a particular athlete, they facilitate that because it has to be a third-party transaction. But we also need to take into account the fact that at some point we need to acknowledge that with these court rulings, you're going to have 19 to 22-year-olds playing against 27, 28-year-old players because you are now seeing judgments saying that the NCAA cannot bar players from only playing 5 years because it blocks them from making NIL money. So it's about to get dicey. It's about to get real dicey. And if your institution does not take advantage of the newly minted spandex billionaire Florida State, then you're going to be running behind Miami, who was using Ponzi scheme money to keep pushing their program.
But eventually what's going to happen, they're going to slap an age restriction on it. You like 27, that's the cutoff. If you're over 27, you're done. You cannot play collegiate sports.
I don't know that's happening because the judges are ruling in favor of the athlete.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, the athletes are undefeated right now.
Yeah, I'm speaking on if it gets ridiculous. Well, we got 30 and 30-year-olds going out there dominating.
It's gonna happen, bro.
Yeah,
look, man. The NCAA hasn't won a case yet. We already got 28-year-olds out here. We already got 29-year-olds out here. They ain't won a case yet, and they're not gonna win a case because it's been fraudulent all this time, and now the judges are letting them know that, guys, you guys been cheating all this time. It's time to pay up. And we got to make sure folks need to understand, Congress ain't gonna fix this, guys. It don't matter how many times we see Nick Saban show up to Congress. He ain't gonna fix this one. They ain't fixing this one, guys. They don't know how to fix it.
What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this.
The NIL cap
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this right now
because they don't even come close to it.
Yeah,
whatever it would be.
But that cap isn't going to matter anyway, because you can't put a cap on individual earnings of the players. So the cap is only for revenue sharing of the schools.
Nope, sure can't.
It's a good try. It's a good try, though. It's a good try. It just ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Oh, we in a whole new world of Wild Wild West when it comes to sports. But we're gonna take a quick break and we'll come right back. So, professionally, get your dollars, dog. Get paid. I want you to get all your money.
Have y'all not been seeing Tom Brady when they don't make the playoff? I mean, when he's not in the Super Bowl, he's commentating the week of, talking.
The numbers go crazy.
Season, he got his hair. Look, I said a long time ago, Tom Brady ain't a football player. That's a model.
That's Mr. Giselle. I mean,
that's
come on,
Mr.
Man.
Giselle. And like,
damn, this man is.
He been
what more do we have to do to be a man?
I'm sorry. Let's not do Hold on. Let's not act like he was a little chubby around the waist until he met Giselle. Because when he was with that actress, he wasn't working out like that. He wasn't eating like that. He got with Giselle. He started eating right.
Oh, man. So he wasn't winning Super Bowl.
I'm talking about he doing Pilates and shit and plyometrics. He doing all. Come on,
hey,
man.
Look, I'm gonna say it like this: Tom Brady made a transformation at some point in his professional career. He went from "I'll have her home by 11" to "She called me daddy too."
Man, listen. That again, TP. If you ever wonder why you're gonna end up on that role, that's one of the reasons why you're gonna end up on that role. That B roll is you gonna be part of that B roll for sure. We had some coaches doing some podcast interviews this week, and CAU's head coach on his, and that is that the school's version
That's
of the
his own
coach's
show right there.
Okay. So
Clark Atlanta.
he was yeah, Clark Atlanta was had some. I listened to the whole interview, had some interesting things. I really would like to know why other schools aren't allowed to practice with other schools, not scrimmage, but practice. But that's another story for another day. I want to know. Well, Doc, you give me your impression of his discussion on D1 players going down to D2.
Well, to me, his whole thing was like I was saying yesterday, like you gotta have that mind. Like D1 players have this mindset that they are D1 players. They don't care about anything else. And they, in some cases be treated as such. But when you jump yourself into the portal and nobody comes pick you up, not even a G5 or FCS program, what is your other decision that you have to make? You got Division 2, you got Division 3, you got NAIA. So Division 3 don't give out scholarships. NAIA, I don't know how their scholarships are, but I know Division 2, what is it, Dave? It's 32, 35 scholarships that's given.
I can't remember how many is for D2.
So, but it's always when they have no other choice but to go down to Division 2. The whole thing is, what is his mindset going to be when he comes down there? Is this player going to actually go out there and grind because that's who they are? Or are they just, when they get down there, are they just going to be pouting because they're not going to be used to that same treatment that they get at an Alabama or Texas or Florida? But I think also what he was saying is that kids nowadays, you ego aside, if you want to be out there portal, you're gonna find somewhere to go.
I mean, that's true. It's a very humbling experience. You know what I mean? Because you start your career up here, and then things aren't going your way. And for whatever reason, you decide that you want to enter the transfer portal, and then nobody at the D1 level picks you up. You got two decisions to make. Do you give up, or do you just keep fighting and then you claw your way back? You show why you was recruited that high in the first place. Show the people it wasn't a fluke. Show them that this just was, a temporary downfall for the bigger come up. Because you can't let that be the end of your story. But if you do, hey, that's on you. That's a personal decision that you made. At the end of the day, having a place to play is what's going to be important. Because if you couldn't find a place, you gotta take the next best thing. You have to be able to put some type of product on the field if you want to be discovered by NFL scouts. If that's what your goal is, to play at the next level, you have to be able to show something to even get an invite.
And I think for some of the
dominate
athletes,
at whatever level you're at, the NFL will find you.
So I put in an example. Giovanni Gibson, he was at an NAIA school, transferred up to Pine Bluff, was the best receiver in the SWAC last year, had over 1,200 yards and over 9 touchdowns. He parlayed that one season at Pine Bluff into an opportunity to be a receiver at the University of Oklahoma. And that's my example. Like that's how he moved up, because he felt like in his mind, I'm not. I mean, he went to a lower level program, kept his head down, worked his butt off, and moved up to the FCS ranks, dominated there for one season, and then moved up to Power 4 to be exact. Like you got, and I think he's going to be a key contributor to that team, to the Sooners. But if you still got, like you said, you got the attitude that you shouldn't have to do this and have to do that, then you just gonna be lost. I knew a dude when I lived in Corsicana. I was working at Navarro College, and we had this running back come in from Nebraska. I think you probably know TP Jordan Stevenson. He was at Nebraska, came out of South Oak Cliff High School. This was back in 2012, 2013. Well, 2014 to be exact. He got in trouble because he couldn't see the field. He got in trouble in Nebraska, and he basically, he basically got to Navarro. He fizzled out. Like he didn't like. It was like he felt like the program was beneath him, and
felt entitled.
He felt entitled. And to me, I'm like, you can sit your black ass down somewhere.
We got it's so many stories out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
He felt entitled, but he also got busted for smoking weed and doing like a couple of times and everything. And so it's all about making the right choices too. Most of those kids, when they go to the JUCO race, most of them are trying to get back up to Division I status, so they could be a contributor, go back to the school where they came from, and be a contributor for that team. So, but yeah.
So, and again, what coaches, the coaches' comments, again, kind of, it sparked my interest because he's on that level to where he gets to see those players come in and how they either progress or just continue to fall off. Because we had Francois at Florida State. He got injured. He got in trouble, moved down, and we kind of didn't hear from him again because he didn't have what he was at Florida State. He didn't have that in him at that lower level, and we kind of lost who he was. And he did an interview recently on Freddie Solomon's podcast about just how when he left Florida State, he was just a completely different person, and he had some issues, and how he's changed out the players' mentality when they come down. Yeah, you lost your confidence, but if they have the support network, hopefully that helps them. But again, we in new territory, so I'm not sure what the answer is, to be honest with you. I just thought that was an interesting kind of dynamic that Coach was talking about. So
I think it's hard to determine what's going to happen.
On the lighter side,
hold on, Troy. Let Danny get some words in.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, bad. I think it's hard just being on the inside of athletics, right? Like working for a conference and having been at a few schools and seeing how it changes. And then with legislation changing, it's literally a day by day, case by case situation, and each new case sets a new precedence, right? And as they make new rules to accommodate the student athletes, you literally don't know what's going to happen from one case to the other. Like it changes so much and so fast that like it's literally giving people whiplash trying to keep up with what is going on in athletics. And I can tell you, being at the NAI level, like I'm so glad we don't have these NIL issues. I'm so glad, because we would be the NAIA was shut down if we had to really go through this. But the good thing is you can come to the NAIA. NAIA is there are thousands of schools in the NAIA, but they're smaller, which means the population is smaller, their departments are smaller, and they have smaller budgets. And so there is not that pressure to produce. There are not the number and the level of media rights deals in the NAIA, which is good for us, right? Because I feel like the student athletes can come to the NAIA schools and be student athletes. Do some of them get NIL deals? Absolutely. Do they deserve it? Absolutely. Should they get paid for those deals? Absolutely. Absolutely. But we're not experiencing the level of strife that D1 schools are having, and I'm grateful for that, because I feel like it gives our kids an opportunity to come and play at their best and not be consumed by financial issues that are plaguing D1 institutions.
That's only because the pressure ain't there though.
That's
not,
exactly what I said. They don't have that pressure. It's a different layout, and so the pressure to have all this money and all these deals and come in and you got to pay me to be just to do this, do that, like that's not there. And that's what I was saying. I think that is good for our organizations, for our student athletes, and of course for our budgets.
I got
you. And I'm sorry about cutting you off. I just want to get to one thing because I know we got Dave for a short amount of time.
It's okay. We know the HOA, the internet is off.
Coral Gables HOA is
the HOA. We know that
Florida internet
gives you the blues.
Oh man,
listen, you just need to call Elon and get that Starlink. He might be
Elon going back and forth.
Elon about to be an ally, man. You even seen what's going on in these Twitter streets? Elon about to be an ally again.
He ain't an ally till he don't.
I'm loving every bit of it.
Listen, man, Trump just told that man to go back to Africa, and I am hollering. You hear me? Oh my God, man! It is hilarious to watch unfold, and I knew this was coming.
The entire world is laughing at us.
You got something for Coral Gables HOA today, Troy?
Listen, I'm mad them people made it to the regionals. Like the SEC had one job, but it's the SEC. It just means eliminated. But that's another story for another day. Florida State.
What about a story for today, Troy? The Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals gave us 20 points in the first quarter.
Jesus.
OKC in 4. Like, what are we talking about here?
Oh man, they gave us 20 points in the first quarter. This can't be the story.
Man, Fruit Loops, chicken coops, basketball hoops. OKC in 4.
Y'all sure about that?
I'm trying. I got in trouble when I said the lowly Pacers because after we got eliminated, but they're still the lowly Pacers regardless.
Nah, only you can't say it because we know you.
Yeah. No, I can say that because they barely made it into the NBA. They wasn't gonna make it into the NBA, but they barely made it into the NBA. So, yeah, you're right. It's gonna be the lowest ratings in 40 years. We're gonna get to the NBA in a second. I want to get while we got Dave on here. we want to talk about these NCAA track championships and the amazing work that A&T did by sending their contingent to the NCAA track championships.
And we made some history.
I looked at the numbers. It is North Carolina A&T and Howard sent the most athletes to the NCAAs. And this is Division I, right?
It's D1. We have some pretty good. We got some pretty good talent.
A&T, Howard, FAMU. Oh yeah. Wait, it's Noah Langford. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all got Isaiah Taylor in the 110 and the 400 meter hurdles, and then I don't want to mess this. I want to say Zaya.
Roll with it. I'm rolling.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's close.
Zaya
That's probably right.
In the 400 meters hurdles, 49-19. Gee, Nelly. Olivia Dow. And then that 4x100, 38.96.
We made the 4x4 too. The men made the 4x4 too. Nah, man, we might have a shot to get a natty somewhere, man. And considering the rebuild that had to happen for that track team when Coach Ross went on to Tennessee, it's astonishing how fast he was able to turn that around and fix and build it. And he's building the program much differently than the way Coach Ross did, because Coach Ross built the team based off of sprinters, the sprinter youth, and we're still got some pretty damn good sprinters, but he kind of made a more balanced roster than what Coach Ross has. And like when we talk about our jumpers, we have some jumpers on the women's side to be the first Aggies to ever qualify for nationals in the history of the program. So we got some more folks coming next year. So we're gonna probably end up being better than what we were next year. So it's gonna be great to see how the guys and gals do. And when we get the nationals, when we get to Oregon, when we get to Eugene. But I'm happy to see the team back the way they are. They're a top 25 program right now in the country. So on at least particularly on the men's side. So I'm hoping that we can get some points, get some decent chunk of points. I mean, we don't have enough folks there to win the natty. We ain't got enough that made it to win the natty, but we're gonna be able to do some damage, which is good. We might call somebody else a natty, a team natty. We got a shot to win some individual titles.
I'll say this: in order to win the national championship, you got to have sprinters, mid-distance runners, maybe one long-distance runner, and somebody in the field events that can give you points.
We almost did it. We almost did it in the indoor in the Big South. We placed second. The COVID year was the year that we were going to be able to do it. The COVID year ruined us, man. The COVID year was like the year. That was the year. The COVID year where they canceled, that was our year. And we still ended up getting second place in indoor. But that COVID year, that was our year. That was the year. That was the one. But now we had some pretty good players on. We had a pretty good sprinters that we got a pretty good team going, man. Shout out to Coach Allen Johnson. He's doing an outstanding job. And shout out to Howard. Howard just pretty much, once A&T left the MEAC, they just took that baton and ran with that thing.
No.
Howard and Norfolk, both of them. They just took it and ran with it.
Yep.
So shout out to them.
Howard has a nice contingent.
Huh? What did you say, sir?
Once FAMU left the MEAC.
Don't stop right there.
That's when we left room.
Who was winning those MEAC titles before we left? Because we left too.
He said me.
Me? Because I got 4 of them when I was at FAM.
Oh no, I'm not doubting. I'm not doubting you. I'm talking about right before we left. Right before we left, because A&T was winning them like crazy right before we bounced.
Not during my time. Let me say that, because Bobby Lane was not going to be stopped. Women's on men. We couldn't be seen on the track.
You know, I would look up.
Bobby Lane is a legend. I want to say, and not to forget about SWAC people. Alabama State, Anthony Wood, Jackson State, Wow, we got some names here. LaDamian Roel. And then you also have a couple here under the radar. Roman Smith from Southern. Jamarian
Stubbs.
And Kirk Dawkins.
Stubbs got a shot to win the title too.
Yeah, he made nationals.
No, but he got a shot. Like he got a shot to win the whole thing.
100 meters.
Oh yeah, he got a shot.
Yeah.
Hope Alabama State taking care of him.
He's gonna go pro.
You think if he wins, he's gonna leave and go pro. That's what happened to one of our ladies a few years ago. She won I think it was the 100 and said, you know what? Signed with Adidas before the end of the weekend.
it's so much money overseas. I mean, unless you like a freshman or something like that, even freshmen now are going pro. Just too much money overseas.
Time out. FAMU's Kirk Dawkins. I ran the 800. This is ridiculous. 146 in the 800 meters.
We got a couple horses now.
He
now the track coach. That's
oh, by the way, you a
Bruce Tightway.
Yeah, that's that's Bruce guy.
Yeah, he is doing a heck of a job. Like he came in with basically rebuilding the program.
We got to thank him for homecoming tickets. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, appreciate that.
Thank him for homecoming tickets.
But he's doing a heck of a job.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and I might end up being persona non grata with the media at FAMU, but we got to bring back FAMU relays. Like you can't have FSU relays and not have FAMU relays. It's got to come.
It's coming.
It's got.
It is. It was supposed to be back this year, but they couldn't get the scheduling right. But it's coming back.
Better invite NT. You need to invite NT.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
I mean we do an Aggie Invitational, so we do we host 2 track meets a year. And we hosted the CAA Championships this year too. So we out here doing the thing, man. I know the tracks due to get a resurface done soon. We got a pretty damn good track. We also host like a high school championship. We did like the weekend after we did the CAA Championships. The following week we had the high school championships in the area too. Like so, like A&T track programs actually making them some money.
I need to make my way back down to Houston for the TSU relays.
I kind of hate A&T a little bit because that's where I broke my patella. Triple jumping.
Lord. Oh,
indoor. Y'all indoor track suck. Oh my God.
We ain't got an indoor track. We ain't got one.
We gotta travel to go to our indoor track to practice. We had conference at A&T home track indoor, and that shit sucked. I don't know where they made the track at, and it wasn't even regulation. Like, you know, most indoor tracks are 200s. It was like chopped up to. It was crazy.
Yeah, we ain't even got an indoor track facility right now. I know, it's on the list, but we got a long ass list of facilities that we need right now. Like, we got to fix War Memorial, the baseball stadium, but they've been focusing on football and basketball. So. But there's indoor track. Like I think indoor track should be like up there, man.
Well, especially during the beginning of the year when they still be trying to get these kids to prepare and run. Like you got to have a facility, especially in North Carolina.
Well, they travel to go. They got a facility that they go to, but there's not one on campus. Like our outdoor track is immaculate, but it's the indoor. Is a whole different ball game. I believe they have to travel to a different facility to practice and do all that other stuff.
Hold on, real quick. The chat. Listen, we brag about every sport. Like I don't know if you pay attention to what was going on doing softball and baseball. We was talking cash noise about baseball, softball. It don't matter. It don't matter. We talk noise about the sports.
A&T's volleyball schedule just got released. I just looked at it. We playing Bethune. We playing Coppin. We playing Norfolk. We playing Howard. I'm looking forward to that one, man. When we play Howard on the volleyball, because Howard's team's pretty good. We're playing Bethune. We're gonna kick they behind too.
I hope.
Are y'all playing Bethune in Daytona?
I think they're coming to us. Let me check. Hold on.
Yo, y'all got lucky, cause if y'all playing in that damn stadium, coming out there needing to take the shot. That shit is terrible. Y'all gonna lose some volleyballs.
We're playing. We're playing, and it's funny. God. It's wild. We're playing Norfolk, Bethune, and Coppin and Greensboro at Corbett Sports Center.
Y'all got lucky.
We play Howard at the Burr. We're gonna go to Howard, and we play. And Hampton's in our conference. We play Hampton, but Hampton's got to come to us. But nah, I mean, we're probably gonna be in top 3 in the CAA this year in volleyball. So we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see how it goes this year.
I just would like to take this time to say that Bethune-Cookman has invited us into their facilities and treated us well, treated Ash well. I have no problem with the AD and the SID at Bethune-Cookman.
I don't have no problem
Y'all
with them
are more
people
than welcome on the show.
I just got problems with their facilities, and they should at least warn people. Bring some water. Bring something to eat. Because if you go into our concession stand, you might just come away with a little something. So,
oh my God.
Marlo, don't get your privileges revoked already.
I'm just saying.
I'm crying.
Be nice to them people. Y'all just got in there.
We was podcast
now the people are very, they're good. I'm not going to go past that. The people are good. They will show you the best that they could, but they showing you their facilities that are
So on another note, to go back to volleyball for like 30 seconds, because I'm just looking at the schedule, A&T schedule. We only have to go out of the Carolinas for Howard and Stony Brook when we got to go to New York. Everything else is either in South Carolina or North Carolina for the whole schedule.
That's brilliant schedule.
That's I was gonna say that's some good schedule.
Player schedule right there.
Yeah, we got to go to DC for 2 games. We playing Howard and we playing American, but then we play Clemson in South Carolina, Wake at their spot, UNC Greensboro, UNC Asheville is going to be at UNCG, and UNC Greensboro. We play Wilmington because they're in our conference, and Wilmington. Then we got William Mary's coming to Greensboro, Hofstra's coming to Greensboro. We just got to go to Stony Brook, and we go to Charleston for College of Charleston. But okay. I mean, because all the most of the HBCU games are in Greensboro. They're coming to us. Bethune's coming to us. Norfolk's coming to us. Coppin's coming to us. So should be good.
Well, the NAIA. So Danny, I'm on y'all website. So just so I have this correct, Marco Miles is going to compete in the 400 meters in nationals, right?
The NAIA nationals are already over. Whose website you on?
I'm on HBCUAC.
.org or .com? I hope it's .org.
.org. I got Miles, Dillard's Miles, and Stillman's Johnson got outdoor track awards.
Correct. They were our MVPs for the men for our championship this year. But they also went to nationals as well. And so I know the crazy thing about Dillard and Stillman track, and even Talladega has had a really strong program. Our surprise school this year, because they're they're not. Let me say this. Voorhees University, they were in our conference a few years ago, and they left because the footprint of our conference changed. So there weren't any schools in our conference that were close enough to them to make it worth them being in our conference. So they left. Now they're back. And they actually won our men's championship this year. But Dillard has a very, very strong and very storied program. They have won. I have to look at how many conference championships they've actually won. But their runners. We have a young lady, Cavell Bird, probably the best women's runner in Dillard's history. She has. She graduated from Dillard this year. She's a communications major. Great film director. She's done videos, documentaries. She has her own production company, but she is also a 14-time All-American.
Damn.
14-time All-American, and that is in 100, 200, 400, 4x100 relays, and then so that's outdoor. But then also she runs indoor track and field as well. And so, when we talk about being able to compete, and I think one of my biggest things is that the NAIA is not a step down for the people that do better in smaller school environments. Yes, you can go D3, but D3 does not allow you to have scholarships. The NAIA's makeup is about the same size as D3 schools. You get scholarships though. So depending on your sport, that dictates the number of scholarships. Men's and women's basketball, you get 8. Baseball, you get 10. Track and field, I believe, is maybe 6 to 8. And then softball is the same as baseball, or maybe a few less because softball teams are usually not as big as baseball. But you look at the accomplishments of some of these student athletes, and it's sick. Like they're really out there, and they're going to the Penn relays and competing against the D1 athletes. And like Cavell went to, I forget the name of which might have been LSU's race, but she finished in the top 3. So I think when we're looking at what works best for our student athletes, and I think that there's something to be said for coming to any school and dominating. Because
14-time All-American.
Yeah, 14-time All-American is, you
that's
can't,
crazy.
like, you that's hard to fathom, right? Like, winning
That's crazy.
winning anything multiple times is a huge accomplishment. But when you talk about consistency, where you've been at one school for 4 years, in every event, you have won an All-American award. She got pictures, and she's got all of her awards around her neck, hanging off of her arms. Congratulations to Cavell. Congratulations to Jamal Morrison and Chris Johnson, Coach Niall Lagania, who is Dillard's head coach, and the coaches at Stillman and Voorhees, Ashley Curry at Stillman, and Coach Hughes at Voorhees. They've done an excellent job with their programs. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see, for sure.
Now this is gonna be a risk when we go to this subject. So just pray with us. Derek Carr said he retired because he didn't want to take the Saints' money and not play.
Man,
Couldn't happen to a happier franchise. I cover the Panthers, by the way. Just disclaimer for you guys. I cover the Panthers. So it couldn't happen to a better
Anybody
franchise.
that beat the Bucks is all right with me.
Couldn't happen to a better franchise, man. Derek Carr knew that man knew he was hurt. That man knew he was hurt all this time, and he waited till after the draft to let y'all know. Couldn't happen to a better franchise.
As a lifelong Texan fan, we understand something about these Carr brothers. They're not gonna win you nothing. The good people, they ain't gonna win you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Saints, y'all on the up and up. He said he didn't want to take the money. Hey, whatever it is.
They ain't up and up because they didn't draft Thibodeau. They're not up and up. They drafted a walk-in injury in that Tyler Show guy.
I don't want to hear that he didn't want
the Saints have positioned themselves to get Arch Manning. Like, we know what this was. Like, let's not even joke about it. We know that the Saints
are they gonna fire their coach after 1 year after they get Arch Manning?
Look, they're gonna wait and see if Arch Manning gonna come out. They're gonna have 2 bad seasons if he plays another year too. They're gonna make sure that
let me tell you something, man. The Saints are in cap hell. Arch Manning gonna get killed if he shows up within the next 3 years of that franchise. I think they still paying for Drew Brees.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Like, they are in cap hell. I enjoy this.
But look, they don't expect nothing from the Saints this year. Oh yeah.
Oh, they're gonna be the worst team in the league. I got them stamped there. They're gonna be the worst team in the NFL.
They have positioned them. There's no way. This Tyler Show guy, first of all,
them not drafting Shedeur Sanders is going to haunt these guys.
Really?
Look, I had a bad grade on Daniel Jones. I don't think I could have a worse grade to give to a quarterback outside of Tyler Show. Just going back and watching what he did in college, like I was impressed by how bad he was. Just put it like that. Like, I was impressed, but it wasn't for the right reasons.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Well,
but look, I called Jackson Dart being QB2 in this draft. I still think he QB1, honestly, until we see what they do on the field. But I personally thought he was the
Whoa,
QB2 at least.
Whoa.
I'm glad you got faith in Spencer Rattler. You know what? As a Panthers fan, I have faith in Spencer Rattler too.
No, the hell we don't.
I have faith. Start them all the games. I have faith.
Well, I'm a lifelong Buccaneer season ticket holder.
I don't like y'all either, but y'all, I like y'all a little bit better than the Saints, but not that much.
Hey, Panthers got some receivers though.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
Panthers got Leggett.
He out here on the cover of Glow's single. You saw
they got T-Mac and they got Jimmy Horn.
He starts dropping them balls this year, man. They're gonna be relentless to him if you drop them passes this year.
Yeah, 100%.
They're gonna be relentless. I like Leggett too, man. I do. I like Leggett a lot. I still think Coco was the best young receiver on that roster last year, but I like Leggett a lot.
Man, I've been looking at Jimmy Horn feet work and OTA
division.
I got them winning it this year, man.
You got
you know what I'm afraid of if we do win it? The Bucks will then fire Todd Bowles. I think they've been wanting to fire Todd Bowles all this time, but the only reason why they can't because he's been winning that division every single year. You can't fire him if he keeps winning this division.
And this
mediocre coach.
This year ain't gonna change. We'll be winning the division this year too.
This is our opening.
Bowles might be on his last run because I think this might be Mike Evans' last good year too. It's gonna be a whole change in Tampa.
Why you think they went and got these receivers in his last draft? That boy from Ohio State.
They drafted some receivers.
Yeah. And McCullen last year, who had a breakout year. Like they stocking up.
All I know is this. I think the Panthers got an opportunity to get the division this year, but we're gonna see. Otherwise, like I know who's not gonna get it. I don't think Atlanta's gonna get it. I'll tell you that. Atlanta ain't getting it.
I like Atlanta. I like Atlanta for the division though. I like.
I want to know what they're
Michael.
going to do with Kirk Cousins' contract. That's what I want to know. What are they going to do?
It don't even matter. They went out
And
and
he's
got
not
young
even gonna be the
talent.
starter.
Yeah,
He's not. Penix
But
is
he's
the starter.
taking up all of the cap.
Who is this?
Hopefully,
Cousins.
hopefully he's using some of that money to build up Michael Penix because he's the future of that franchise. I've seen him in college. If Michael Penix can stay healthy, he was probably he's one of the most dangerous young QBs in the league. If he can stay on the field, because he throws a very beautiful ball, it's very catchable. You got tall receivers, you got Kyle Pitts, who might be on your last leg, bro. I don't know how many opportunities they're gonna give him, but if he don't have the type of season they expected to get from a 6'6" tight end that can run a 4.4, he gonna be out the door too. So this is his last opportunity. But what they tried to do for Desmond Ridder was surround him with talent. It didn't work. Desmond Ridder was trash. They got him out of there. You bring in Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins coming off an injury. He can't move. It don't matter who the offensive line is. Plays are gonna break down. And if your quarterback literally has no mobility, it's gonna be a long season. But you bring in so insert Michael Penix. If the run game can get going, if they're able to do the things that they want to do on offense, and then they have the opportunities to get teams off the field on third down with those good pass rushes they just went out and drafted, it might be a different Atlanta Falcons team. But we're going to know why they play the game.
Hold on, TP. I just want to know who's Kirk Cousins' agent for giving him all this damn guaranteed money.
He's the real MVP in this whole conversation.
He is the MVP.
I just want to get back to the whole. I just got one question because y'all keep talking about Kyle Pitts. I just got one question. Name me 3 good boot skins in the history of the NFL. Don't worry,
Smith.
I'll wait.
Emmitt Smith, Percy Harvin.
That one. Percy was in the league 5 minutes.
Kevin Winslow.
Senior.
He didn't say I was.
I'm sorry. Who? Hold on.
No. Yeah, that's right. He went to Miami.
I mean,
he went to Miami.
Not Kevin Winslow, the other psycho that was in Gainesville playing tight end.
Talking about Aaron Killer and Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez.
Killer.
I'm not.
I'm not
talking. Hey, he didn't finish his career there, but Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Hey man,
he was there 2 years.
Hey, Javon Curse was a dog at Florida. I'll give him that.
The freak.
The freak.
Yeah. Hey, that's more than 3 boot skins, Troy. Where you at with it?
You had to go get Cam, by the way. I just want to put that out there. You had to go get Cam. Anyway, the other quarterback signed the other day, which is probably going to get Mike Tomlin fired. Aaron, I'm on that stuff, Rodgers.
If Mike Tomlin gets fired because they signed Aaron Rodgers, man.
That wasn't his idea. That wasn't even his pick.
No, it's not. That ain't the point. That's not the point. The concern is that if Aaron Rodgers, but I think the Rooneys are more rational than probably any other owner in the NFL. But if Aaron Rodgers would try to influence to get Tomlin out of there. And I think it would be foolish. Like I thought it was a travesty that that Rodgers pushed Saleh out of there, even though Saleh would have been there much longer than Rodgers is. But
Aaron Rodgers has successfully gotten every coach that has ever coached him fired.
That is true, because he sure did get.
But this ain't. But the Steelers are a different breed, man.
They had 3 coaches in the past 40 years.
He got Mike McCarthy fired.
He ain't. Let me tell you, man. This is the Steelers, though. Like I think this is going to be a little bit more unique from that aspect. And the Steelers historically, what they would do, they give contract extensions when the coaches have a losing record. The problem is that Mike Thomas never had that. So
he hasn't.
You know,
and a part of him never having a losing record.
But here's the
they
thing,
haven't
though.
been able to go and get that top tier franchise quarterback since Big Ben. And if they keep Mike Tomlin, then they'll keep picking 15 and up every year. That's been the guarantee.
But here's the thing, though. The Steelers had only had 3 coaches in 45 years.
I know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not gonna Tomlin's gonna get to leave on his own terms. I know some, but I know Steelers fans that want him gone, and I keep looking at him like, so who you gonna hire? Like, who are you going to replace him with? Like, how you gonna find a coach that's never had a losing record?
They want somebody to have a losing record. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Dave. They want somebody to have a losing record so they can go up and get that guy. That's what they want.
I hope they fire Mike Tomlin because he can come to Tampa.
No,
he could be my coach.
You got a coach.
You already got a coach. You got a division winning coach.
We do
4 straight years, right? 3 straight years.
Was he the coach when they won the Super Bowl, or was it Bruce Arians?
Bruce Arians.
He was the coach.
No, Bruce Arians was the staff. He was on the staff.
It was
he was the defensive coordinator.
No, he was on the staff.
Yeah. Bruce was the head coach. So technically, Todd Bowles ain't won nothing as the head coach.
We all can agree that Mike Tomlin would be an upgrade in coaching from Todd Bowles.
Yeah, but he needs to be in better places.
Todd Bowles done the same thing Mike Tomlin done. If you look at the last 4 years, their records are almost identical with no Super Bowl.
I don't want this for Marlo. I don't want this for Marlo. I don't want him to get a good head coach. I want him to keep his mediocre coach so he can crash out for podcast content.
I hope the Raiders hire Tom Brady as the head coach. I hope he steps down.
You take that back.
I hope he comes down and he's now y'all head coach.
That would be so.
That'd be diabolical right there.
Why you looking like that, bro?
That's how you feel, huh? That's how you feel. That's how you feel, huh?
Tom Brady.
I couldn't get to the button fast enough. I couldn't get to the button. That's all. I was trying.
Hey, is this still gonna be fuck Tom Brady when he's your head coach?
Yeah. Yeah.
No loyalty. No loyalty.
Man.
Look, Troy ain't got no loyalty, man.
Listen, Mike Norvell went 10-2, almost lost the game against Florida, and I was ready to fire him in the middle of a winning season. Like, I don't.
It's loyalty. Look, it's LOW, man. LOW, low. Loyalty over wins. Where you at?
Who said?
All right, I gotta
TP.
run, guys. This was fun.
TP.
You guys have a lovely evening.
Hey,
all right,
bro.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Listen, man. Listen. Now that company gone. Now that company is gone.
We know where your loyalty lies.
Keep your pants on. It's not time to show your ass.
It is not time to show your ass.
Oh, you don't need pants.
Again.
Get your ass is out.
Listen. Woo. Now that company gone. No, this whole Aaron Rodgers thing is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, the Pittsburgh Steelers allowed themselves to be the third option to prom. Like,
No,
Pittsburgh is the ugly prom date.
The Pittsburgh Steelers told you everything you need to know when the head coach ain't in the room doing draft night.
Yep.
That's everything.
Because they still had an opportunity to take Shador probably 4 or 5 times over. And they were like, nah, he ain't it. Everybody said Shador ain't it. All the team, and I'm only speaking about the teams that actually needed a quarterback. They all looked at him and said, nah, he ain't it. Even the Browns drafted another quarterback before they took him.
Who probably ain't gonna make the team.
Dylan gonna make the team.
No, he gonna make the team. He just gonna be.
Dylan will make the team. I think
he's gonna be trade bait.
I feel like Pittsburgh Steelers moved on from Justin Fields too soon, because if we go back and look at last season, he won every game he started. So why do we keep doubting that man when you actually put him in a position to win and he won? What else do we got to do? This is why I hope the Pittsburgh Steelers lose every game this year, because you had a guy. You had a guy that could get it done. If you go to the playoffs with Mason Rudolph and then you come back with Justin Fields and y'all are winning every game, and then it's like, oh, well, Russ is really the guy, so we're going to bring in Russ. So you bring in Russ and you still win some games here and there, and you still end up making the playoffs. But when it's all said and done, y'all wasn't even sold on Russ because y'all let him walk after 1 year. Why is there such a huge changeover on the quarterback in Pittsburgh? And I feel like he didn't really want a black quarterback. That's my opinion. I get that he's a black man, but I don't think he wanted a black quarterback. And I said what I said.
Well, on the notion of that hot take, real quick, Texas and Texas Tech are still 0-0 in the middle of the fourth. I don't care what happens. This Kennedy acquisition by Texas Tech was money well spent. Spent $1 million, get to the championship game, regardless of what happens. That was money well spent.
Right.
Money well
I don't know no other. Like, if she played baseball, they would have brought a Brinks truck to her. I don't think she got paid enough for what she do on the field. They wouldn't even be relevant if she wasn't on their team this year. Them just facts.
Yeah.
Come on, Ranger. Let's beat Tampa Bay right now.
I agree.
Did you say let's beat Tampa Bay?
You celebrating trying to beat. If you have to encourage your team to beat the Rays, you got bigger problems. The Rays are not your problem.
First of all, the Rays are above 500, sir.
That is true.
First of all, what?
They are above 500.
We don't even have a home stadium to play in.
We playing y'all in the minor league ballpark.
Are we gonna do this? Are we doing this? Because if we gonna do this whole Rays discussion, it's gonna get ugly. You ain't gonna like my opinions. The Rays are built to be average. The owner is average. The situation with the stadium is ridiculous. This could have been solved 2 years ago. But Stu Sternberg is an asshole.
They'll be in Orlando in 2 years.
They will not be in Orlando. You know what? Since you keep bringing that up, and all these people, they're going to Orlando. Where the money at?
They've been saying
where the money at?
What?
Where the money
they
at?
already said they're gonna build a $2 billion stadium and have the land. Now, don't talk about where the money at.
In 27.
Morgan and Morgan and a couple
all
of
you
other
got
big lawyers
pledges ain't
are
no
behind. If they already said they're gonna put the money up, that's where the money at. They already put a bid in to either get the Rays or get an expansion team. It's gonna happen.
They might get an expansion. Oh no! Hold on! Time out! I keep forgetting.
It's gonna happen.
They're not getting the team because Miami is gonna have an absolute fit. The Marlins are gonna lose their shit if they put a damn team on that side of the state.
What side of the state? We're in the
The
middle.
Marlins have that whole The
No, they
Marlins
don't.
have that whole side of the state. Yep.
They do not have
Their
Orlando,
TV
bro.
market is that side of the state.
It is not. We see we don't even see Marlin games here. They're not even
Does
Marlin
everybody see
games
baseball
on
games
any
anymore?
of
Because
the
they all on Apple TV now.
the Rays are on TV here.
So
And they're gonna be playing here.
they on whatever Sun turned into. And so is the Marlins. I mean, okay. Listen, if y'all get Stu Sternberg, you're gonna be crashing out on this podcast too.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I think this market would support that team way more than the Tampa Bay market does.
You think the
And those
support
are
is the issue, not the owner. The support is the issue. That's what you're saying?
the Rays got the best farm system in baseball.
They used to
Where
have
the
the best
lad
farm
in that.
system.
They still
They
got the
farm
best farm
system
system in baseball.
They farm system took a hit when your best player in the last 5 years is in jail in the Dominican Republic.
He wasn't our best player in the last 5 years. We traded away our best player in the last 5 years. And he ain't in jail. You don't follow the Rays like I follow the Rays.
Yeah.
Rosarella.
That was the only dude y'all gave a free agent.
How many
That was the
Gold
only dude y'all gave a
Glovers?
free agent contract to.
They coming to the O. So you might as well wrap your head around that. Because they're gonna be here.
Hey, listen, I'm just waiting on the announcement. Like the moment they go to listen, if they go to Orlando, that's good for the podcast because then I know we can get media access. We ain't never getting media access while Stu Sternberg is the owner. That ain't never happening. I'm gonna see to it every chance I get.
Now, why would you go and do that, Troy?
But I digress. Man, fuck Stu.
Damn.
Wow.
What was this thing that you?
I know I said
I got a question.
Tom.
That's great. That's aggressive.
Now, what is this thing that you put in about Rob Parker and what he said about LeBron? Let's get on.
All right, so there has been a lot of rumors about Bronny starting next year, right? And Rob Parker was discussing nepotism, but people keep convoluting the conversation. Nepotism as it relates to actual on the court, on the field access. So it's one thing to have Bill Belichick and his son coaching. It's another thing to have Jim Kelly being the quarterback and then Jim Kelly Jr. being the wide receiver. Them two totally different conversations. What Rob Parker was talking about is if LeBron does this, we have, as a community of people, have always been able to compete against our counterparts based on our on-field success. It's some small politics involved, yeah. But to have someone be able to say, I am the star player and my son is going to start because I'm the star player, that's a problem.
Wow.
And we saw it a little bit with Giannis' brother on the squad. What you mean, why? Who Bronny started?
Why is it a problem? Whoever play his position.
Mm-hmm.
That just because you start don't mean you're gonna get the most
saying
minutes.
That we're hold on. I'm just asking the question. So we're saying that Bronny has earned a starting position for the Los Angeles Lakers. Is that
If
what we're saying?
If he starts, yeah. I don't see what the problem is.
I'm gonna ask this again. Maybe I didn't ask this right. In the offseason, outside of training camp, and he hasn't done anything differently than what he did last season. He has
How do you
earned
know?
a starting spot, is what you're saying.
How do you know he ain't did nothing different?
I'm asking the question.
But I'm just saying, if he's going to be a starting,
all things.
If he's going to be a starting guard for the Los Angeles Lakers, he has done enough to be a starter. There is too much money at stake for them to be successful, for him to go out there and say, and because LeBron, they will get rid of LeBron first. So if he's starting, he has done enough to be a starter. And it ain't got nothing to do with what his daddy said.
Just the basic stats. 2.3 points per game, 0.7 rebounds per game, 0.8 assists per game, 31.3% from the field. I asked this question again.
How many minutes did he play? That has a lot to do with your volume. He wasn't on the floor that much, so that shouldn't be hard to calculate.
6.7 minutes per game. He shot.
If I'm giving you 4 points in 6 minutes. Shit. Okay.
No. 2.3.
Okay, if I'm giving you 2 points in 6 minutes, it's motherfuckers that play a whole game and don't get 2 points.
He shot 28% from 3.
The question was, if he is starting for the Lakers next year, is it a problem? No.
Ain't nobody else saying nothing. Ain't nobody else saying that. I know somebody else got to have something on this.
For with Bronny, I mean, y'all know, look, man, y'all know LeBron is the GM for the Lakers. It ain't never been Rob Pelinka. It ain't never been
where he go.
LeBron has been the GM of the Los Angeles Lakers since he got there. So him pushing hard for Bronny to come in and try to be a starter, I think Bronny has to actually prove himself to be a starter. He's done it in the G League, down there, the G League franchise, and he's came up a late, but it's all daddy ball. Is basically nepotism. It's a lot of things that we don't, people don't want to really explain, but it is what it is. And you're not hearing anything about him retiring anytime soon when Bryce comes into the league. We don't even know if Bryce is going to be a one and done in Arizona.
Bryce is built more like his daddy than Bronny.
I think Bronny just peaked out. He peaked out, and Bryce is just like the thing is, we knew Bryce was going to be the actual person that's going to get that height and that play because just having that growth spurt. And crazy thing about him with Bryce, he ain't finished growing yet. What if he gets to about 6'7", 6'8", just like his dad? Hey, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't. And again, this ain't necessarily something to bash Bronny. It has nothing to do with Bronny and the people that are putting this team together. They're at fault. So I don't want to make it to be a best Bronny James situation. This is on LeBron James. It's on that Dookie. It's on Rob Pelinka. This is on them. This is all on them. At some point, somebody got to say something. But I know TP backing away from this. We went kind of.
Troy went into the portal.
That man is in the sun place.
We
got along tonight. But we
you must have said something wrong about LeBron, and he didn't put them internet gremlins on your ass.
Troy, look at this. You talked about the people down there in Coral Gables. Troy, just look at this. Look at directly into it.
Not the Men in Black.
Yeah.
He trying to flash you back into.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Marvin Johnson said,
I want to thank everybody, the 80 in the building, for coming out. I'm trying to keep our friendly media relations with FAMU. I know TP got to go. We ran over tonight. We got a chance to get Dave on to talk about what was going on with the HOA or CAA rather. More than just people acting out and letting their feelings be shown. If you got time, TP, I'll go ahead and get you first. Sir, the floor is yours.
Well, NBA Finals has started today. They still having a conversation. They talking to, NBA commissioner, whether he thinks it's a good idea. He said, well, if the Packers and the Steelers were in the Super Bowl, y'all wouldn't have the same energy. But and like I said, I agree. You have an opportunity to watch some teams that you ain't seen in the finals. You want to see some superstars emerge. This is the stage to do it on. And unless that isn't matriculated throughout the league, we don't want to see the same teams winning year in and year out, because there are other fans. There are other cities that want to experience championships. And this is one of those opportunities. Like, why even be in the league if you don't want them to ever win? I don't understand the thought process behind it. You talking about just ratings or just views or however you look at it. You got two teams that made it out of their conference and are playing on the grandest stage. So, like I said, if you like basketball, tune in. I've been keeping up with the game, even though we on the podcast. I want to see, if Shai gonna be able to go out there and have his superstar coming out party. Is Halliburton gonna relish off of the fact that he didn't win the Eastern Conference Final MVP and come out here and ball out? It's a lot of narratives that I think that we are missing through this whole thing. And if you don't want to watch it, then that's on you. But appreciate the game for what it is. We're going to see some good basketball, and that's all I really care about. But yeah, that's my time. I will get with y'all next week. Thank you for watching Gathering Old Men Podcast. I'm TP. Y'all have a good evening.
Yes, sir.
All right, TP. Tell the missus we said hi.
I got you.
Doc, what you got for us this week?
Pretty much not too much of anything. Getting ready to do our fundraiser for Swag Media Day on the channel. We already, we getting ideas for shirts and want to have a new commercials coming up and probably hopefully a new intro. Don't know yet, but I think I like the intro, but it's cool. Other than that, just enjoy the NBA Finals. One of my favorite shows come back for the fourth season, BMF on Stars. So I get to sit there and watch that on Friday night. Some other things I did, went to and got my eyes checked this morning. Give me some more contacts. Great. Got my free sunglasses, my free shades for after every visit I go on. Get it every year. So other than that, having a good time. I'm just blessed to be here and to be alive right now. So make sure that it's Men's Mental Health Month. Make sure you check your mental health. Men, don't try to keep everything in. If if you think you're too hard to talk to a therapist, you're not doing yourself a service. You're doing yourself a disservice. Always make sure you seek help because it's already hard. Doing this by, I won't say by ourselves, but thinking we have to do it by ourselves. But as a black man, already living in this world where it's already chaos, and we always gonna be the hunted. It's you always want to make sure you have your mentals checked. So go out there and get your mental health checked. Of course, go ahead and get all your screenings, colon, prostate, whatever. Go ahead, take care of yourself. Because we got to be there for the long haul. I sent y'all that link of Elon of Donald Trump telling Elon to go back to Africa. That's funny as hell. But anyway, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Hug your loved ones and love on your loved ones. Crash out on your kids as always. Beat your kids out the penitentiary. Fuck Donald Trump. And in the words of Marlo, somebody got to show me some fight. Them shirts is coming out. We got you, Marlo. So,
yes, sir.
So, other words, be easy.
Oh man. Moving words. Hey, it's been an interesting week. Had great podcast on Tuesday night. Again, thanks Dave for coming out. Really good information. Allows me to keep my Twitter fingers to myself. As I look at this NBA Finals, and somebody pointed it out on Twitter, there's no NBA Finals logo anywhere on the court. There's YouTube TV. There's the OKC logo. There's a Michelob Light logo. Paycom Center logo. No NBA Finals on the court at all. And I was just chastised because I said this was the NBA Finals of mid. And it is. It's the NBA Finals of Middle America. Why are you asking me to put more stock in the NBA finals than the NBA does? The NBA clearly don't care about these finals. Because when the finals last year happened, the NBA finals logo was everywhere on the court. I'm not understanding why there's no NBA finals logo, but that's another story for another day. So today, Jay Harris on ESPN announced that he has prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is very serious. But the problem with prostate cancer is us, right? Some information that people don't know. You could live a really long time with prostate cancer. You could also live a very short amount of time with prostate cancer. The treatments for prostate cancer are extreme. You can remove the prostate cancer, and that has some side effects to it. Or you can just have radiation and hormone therapy, and that has side effects as well. All of those things, when they're presented to a perfectly healthy male who is in his middle ages, can be daunting because things will not function the way they normally are. I'm blessed because I have some options to where I don't necessarily have to face that, but understand that was on the table. But the most important thing is we got to be here for our kids. So whatever the available treatment is, you're doing it for your family and your children. So like Doc said, like you got to take care of yourself. Definitely got to take care of yourself, both physically, spiritually, and mentally. And to that young lady who said it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, send that man $1,000. You lady are the real MVP. That's my time. See y'all on Tuesday. Unfortunately, Jamal isn't here, so I'll say it. Crash the fuck out when people got you fucked up and punching Nazi. I'm Troy, and I'm out.
Fuck Donald Trump. That's what he'll say.
Marlo, sir, what you got for us this week?
This week has been a week. I don't know. It's something about knowing how to do stuff, and then when you do it, and it don't work right, and then you have to spend more money to do it again. And I'm running into that issue with my truck, or one of my trucks. I thought it was one problem, come out to be another problem. I fixed all the underlying problems to find out it was another problem that I have to go spend more money. And having said that, I think the heavens that I do have a skill set that will allow me to work on my own stuff, because had I taken this to a shop, I would probably be down about $4,500 already. So I'm blessed and thankful for knowledge and wisdom and the people that poured into me when I was a young pup, that taught me the value of being able to work with my hands. I do it every day. I try to impress on younger people. There are hard skills that I think will serve you good. So I say that to say this. If somebody's trying to teach you a skill or teach you something, or basically impart some wisdom in you, take the time to be appreciative of it, learn it. You never know when it's going to come in handy. You don't necessarily need to make it a career, but to know how to do something is a very, 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 very valuable thing. So, and this is a message for them kids that may not be going to a 4-year university or even higher education. Pick up a skill. It is very important. This is that season when after you graduate, you have the I don't knows. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know what I'm going to do in my life. I don't know what my career is going to be. Start somewhere. Take a vocational class. Most of the time, if depending on what area you in, it's free. Just go out there and get information and get some knowledge. You'll be very, very glad you did in the long run. That's just my time. I know some thoughts that I've been thinking on. I hope everybody have a blessed one. And always plug that school in Daytona for real. Always. That's my time.
Rouge Tech.
Oh man. Well, again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out to another edition of the Gathering On Man podcast with HBCU Overdrive. Myself, Dr. Holiday, Marlo, for Danny, Dave, Jamal, and TP.
TP.
We are out.